Imagine a world entirely without sunlight, a place so deep within our planet's oceans that not a single ray of light can penetrate its depths. This is the deep sea, a realm of perpetual darkness, crushing pressure. It is a vast, cold, and seemingly empty space stretching for miles below the surface. Here, the rules of life as we know them on the sunlit surface are completely rewritten. It is an environment that challenges our very understanding of what it means to be alive. The pressure is immense, hundreds of times greater than what we experience on land. The water is just above freezing, and food is incredibly hard to find. It is truly one of the most extreme habitats on Earth. For centuries, this abyssal zone was a complete mystery to us. Humans could only guess what strange and wonderful creatures might exist in such a hostile world. The deep sea was the source of legends and myths, monstrous krakens, serpentine leviathans lurking in the blackness. It was a place beyond our reach, a final frontier on our own planet. Even with today's advanced technology, exploring this dark world remains an enormous challenge. Sending submersibles down into these crushing depths is a difficult and dangerous task. Each journey is a pioneering expedition into the unknown, revealing just a tiny fraction of the secrets held by the deep. Despite the immense challenges, life has found a way to thrive here. In this world of eternal night, evolution has taken a remarkable and often bizarre path. The animals that call this place home have developed extraordinary adaptations to survive. They have found ways to see without light, to find food where there is almost none, and to find each other in the vast, empty darkness. These creatures are unlike anything you would find in the shallow, sun-drenched waters above. They are a testament to the sheer power and creativity of nature. Here, light is not something that comes from the sun. Instead, it is created by the inhabitants themselves. This phenomenon is called bioluminescence, the production of living light. It is a silent language spoken in flashes, glows, and shimmering clouds. Animals use it to signal to one another, to startle predators, and, most ingeniously, to hunt. In the absolute blackness of the abyss, a single point of light can be the difference between finding a meal and becoming one. It is a magical, alien landscape, illuminated by the very creatures that live within it. Among the many strange inhabitants of this dark world, one creature stands out as a true master of the abyss. It is a fish that has turned the darkness into its greatest advantage. It is a hunter that carries its own bait, a living fishing rod complete with a glowing lure. This is the deep-sea anglerfish. Its appearance is the stuff of nightmares, with a huge gaping mouth filled with long, needle-sharp teeth. Its body is often round and globular, seemingly unsuited for chasing down prey. But this fish does not need to chase anything. It has perfected a far more energy-efficient and cunning strategy for catching its dinner. The anglerfish is named for its most distinctive feature, a long spine that grows from the top of its head just over its mouth. It is a highly modified dorsal fin ray that acts precisely like a fishing rod. At the very tip of this rod is a fleshy bulb called the esca. The esca is a complex organ filled with millions of light-producing bacteria. These tiny organisms live in a symbiotic relationship with the anglerfish, creating a constant, eerie glow in the pitch-black environment. The anglerfish has, in essence, harnessed the power of living light. This glowing lure is the key to the anglerfish's survival. In a world where food is incredibly scarce, the fish cannot afford to waste energy searching for a meal. Instead, it remains almost perfectly still, conserving its precious energy. It dangles its luminous bait in front of its face, wiggling it gently to mimic the movements of a small, bioluminescent creature. This tiny beacon of light shines out in the darkness, an irresistible point of curiosity for any small fish or squid that happens to be passing by. It is a fatal attraction, a false promise of a meal in the desolate food desert of the deep sea. Drawn in by the hypnotic glow, unsuspecting prey comes closer to investigate. They move in, inch by inch, mesmerized by the dancing light. And then, in a fraction of a second, the trap is sprung. The anglerfish opens its enormous mouth, creating a powerful suction that instantly vacuums the victim inside. The long, inward-pointing teeth ensure there is no escape. It is a remarkably efficient and deadly hunting technique, perfectly adapted to a life of darkness and scarcity. This creature is a living embodiment of the strange and wonderful solutions that life finds in the most extreme places on Earth. To truly understand the anglerfish, we must first journey into its home. This is a place so alien, it might as well be on another planet. The ocean is divided into layers or zones, based on how much sunlight they receive. The top layer, the sunlit zone, is where most marine life we are familiar with resides. But as we descend deeper, the light begins to fade. First, it becomes a dim twilight, then a faint ghostly blue. Eventually, we cross a threshold, usually around 1,000 meters down, into a realm of absolute and eternal darkness. This is the midnight zone, or the aphotic zone, a world without a single photon of sunlight. It is here, in this perpetual night, that the anglerfish makes its home. Living in total darkness presents an extraordinary set of challenges. For us, and for most animals on the surface, sight is a primary sense. We rely on light to navigate, find food, and avoid danger. But in the midnight zone, eyes that are adapted for daylight are completely useless. The very concept of day and night ceases to exist. There are no shadows, no shapes silhouetted against a brighter background. There is only an endless, uniform blackness in every direction. Life here has had to find new ways to see. While some deep-sea animals have evolved enormous, highly sensitive eyes, others have gone in the opposite direction, losing their sense of sight altogether. For them, other senses become far more important. A heightened sense of smell, an incredibly sensitive lateral line system, can feel the tiniest vibrations. It is a world perceived through touch, taste, and vibration, rather than by sight. The darkness also dictates the pace of life. With no sun to power the base of the food chain through photosynthesis, energy is a precious and limited resource. Everything happens more slowly here. Animals move with a deliberate calm, conserving every last calorie. There are no frantic chases or high-speed pursuits. Life is lived in slow motion, a stark contrast to the bustling activity of the sunlit waters far above. This slow, patient existence is a fundamental rule of survival in the abyss. It is a rule that the anglerfish has not only learned to follow, but has mastered with its unique and patient hunting strategy. The absence of sunlight creates another, even more critical problem: a profound scarcity of food. On the surface, plants and phytoplankton use photosynthesis to convert sunlight into organic matter, forming the base of a vast and complex food web. But in the deep sea, there is no photosynthesis. No plants can grow. This means the deep sea is, for the most part, a food desert. The primary source of nutrition must come from above, a constant, gentle rain of detritus from the upper layers of the ocean. This slow dwindling shower of organic material is known as marine snow. Dead plankton, fecal pellets, shed exoskeletons, decaying remains of larger animals. As these particles drift downwards, they provide a crucial, if meager, source of food for many deep-sea dwellers. However, most of this material is consumed on its long journey down. By the time it reaches the depths where the anglerfish lives, only a tiny fraction of the original energy remains. It is like living on crumbs that have fallen from a feast happening thousands of feet above. Because food is so rare and unpredictable, finding a meal is the single most important driver of evolution in the deep. Animals cannot afford to be picky eaters. Many have developed enormous mouths and expandable stomachs, allowing them to swallow prey that is sometimes even larger than they are. An encounter with a potential meal might be a once-in-a-month or even once-in-a-year event. Missing that opportunity could mean starvation. This is why energy efficiency is paramount. Every movement must be calculated. The inhabitants of the abyss must be masters of conservation. This is the context in which the anglerfish's strategy makes perfect sense. Why waste precious energy swimming around in the vast, empty darkness searching for a tiny speck of food? It is far more intelligent to stay put and let the food come to you. The anglerfish's method is the ultimate expression of energy conservation. The only energy it uses is for the subtle wiggle of its lure and the explosive, split-second action of its jaws. In this desolate food desert, the anglerfish has evolved to become an oasis of false hope, a deadly trap that turns the scarcity of its environment into a powerful hunting advantage. Beyond the darkness and the scarcity of food, there is another immense physical force that defines life in the deep sea: pressure. At depths of 1,000 to 4,000 meters, the pressure is simply staggering. 100 to 400 times greater than the atmospheric pressure we experience at sea level. It is a force strong enough to crush a military submarine as if it were a tin can. The animals that live here are not crushed because they have evolved bodies perfectly adapted to this high-pressure world. Their bodies contain no air-filled spaces. The pressure inside their bodies is the same as the pressure outside. Adding to the challenge of pressure is the extreme cold. In the abyss, the water is perpetually just a few degrees above freezing. This relentless cold slows down all biological processes. metabolism runs at a much slower rate. The anglerfish is not just a survivor of this harsh world, it is a product of it. Every strange and wonderful feature it possesses is a solution to a problem posed by the crushing, cold, and dark abyss. Just when it seems the anglerfish could not possibly get any stranger, we uncover the most bizarre aspect of its existence: its love life. The fearsome, lure-wielding hunter we have been describing is exclusively the female of the species. But her male counterpart is a creature from a completely different world. The male anglerfish is a tiny, pathetic fraction of her size. The female can be over 60 times longer and 500,000 times heavier than the male. He is a mere dwarf in her giant world. The male anglerfish's anatomy is a stark contrast. He lacks the fearsome jaws, the expandable stomach, the signature glowing lure. From the moment they are born, their life has only one purpose: to find a female. It is a desperate one-shot quest, a race against time before their limited energy reserves run out. He uses this powerful sense of smell to sniff out the unique chemical trail. He follows this invisible scent trail through the darkness. He may also have large eyes, for spotting the faint, distant glimmer of a female's bioluminescent lure. It is a beacon of hope in the endless night. Upon reaching the colossal female, the tiny male has one final task to perform. He seeks out a suitable spot, and then he does something extraordinary. He bites down. This bite is the beginning of the end for the male as an independent creature. His jaws start to fuse to her body. Their skin intertwines, their blood vessels intertwine, forming a shared circulatory system. He becomes a permanent appendage. His large eyes wither away. His other internal organs waste away. He becomes a small, fleshy bump on her side, a living sperm bank. Some females carry multiple males. She becomes a floating colony, carrying her harem. When she's ready to reproduce, hormonal signals travel through the shared blood. Attached males release sperm simultaneously. Fertilization is ensured, securing the next generation. His individual life is forfeit, but his genetic legacy is secured. His sacrifice ensures that the anglerfish lineage will continue in this impossibly harsh environment. When we look at the deep-sea anglerfish, we are not just seeing a strange and monstrous fish. We are seeing a perfect toolkit for survival, assembled by millions of years of evolution. Its glowing lure, its cavernous mouth, its slow, deliberate metabolism, its bizarre parasitic love life. Each of these traits form a complete and elegant survival kit. At the heart of the anglerfish's success is one single guiding principle: the conservation of energy. In the deep-sea food desert, energy is the most valuable currency, and the anglerfish is the ultimate miser. The deep-sea anglerfish is more than just a survivor. It is an anchor of life in what can seem like an empty world. When she dies, her large body is a massive windfall for the seafloor. In death, she returns the energy she collected, providing a rare feast and completing the cycle. Our journey into the world of the anglerfish is a journey to the frontier of human knowledge. The deep sea remains the largest and least explored habitat on Earth. Every time a submersible dives into the midnight zone, it ventures into the unknown. We are only just beginning to scratch the surface. The anglerfish is a perfect example of how much we still have to learn. For every anglerfish species we've identified, there may be many more waiting to be discovered. Their bodies hold secrets. Their cells may contain biochemical compounds that could lead to new medicines or technologies. The deep sea is a library of biological information. We've barely opened the first book. The anglerfish serves as an ambassador for this hidden realm. It draws our attention downward to a world we cannot see, but that's integral to Earth's system. In the end, the deep-sea anglerfish leaves us with a profound sense of wonder. It perfectly embodies the magic and mystery of the natural world, a story of darkness and light, hunger and patience, a desperate search, a permanent embrace, a drama that unfolds every day, thousands of meters below our feet. Next time you look at the sea, think of the worlds beneath, much further down, the kingdom of the anglerfish. That single hypnotic light dancing in cold, silent darkness, a beacon of life in a seeming void, a symbol of hope and resilience. The anglerfish, a final glimmering point of light, reminding us of the endless beauty and strange wonders still waiting patiently in the deep.